Welcome to lesson 1-10 video 1, actually the only video for this lesson, and we're going to talk about in behavior today. So our learning target is that we can identify the in behavior of a function, and we're going to just dive right in right here. One last characteristic that we can use to describe a function is in behavior. In behavior describes what happens to the y value as the x value approaches infinity or negative infinity. Now, if you look on the right hand side of the page here, there's nothing really we need to fill in here. These are just some examples that you're going to see. Like it's asking you, or if you see a notation like this, where x and then you have the arrow going towards negative infinity, this reads as x approaches negative infinity, y approaches something, whatever is happening with the graph. That's the way you would read that. And then here, this would read as x approaches positive infinity, what is y doing? So y approaches some value. You might also see it written like this, as x increases, or in other words, as x goes to positive infinity, what is y doing? It could increase or decrease. And then as x decreases, if x goes to negative infinity, what's y doing? It could be increasing or decreases. Increasing or decreasing. And then lastly, same thing as above here, except for instead of using y, it's just f of x. So nothing really different there. Move this out of the way. Okay. So a couple different things with the linear. You should expect to see that as one side approaches positive infinity, the other side is going to approach negative infinity. With quadratics, they're both going to approach the same thing. So both sides of your graph are going to approach either positive infinity or negative infinity. So they'll both go the same way. And then if you have exponential, one will approach positive or negative infinity, and then the other will approach wherever the asymptote is. So let's go over some of these examples here. So example 1a has this linear function here, and this says as x goes or approaches negative infinity, so as x goes this way to negative infinity, what is y doing? And it looks like y is going up. We're going to say it's going up to positive infinity, so we'll say y approaches positive infinity. And then similarly, as x approaches positive infinity, what's y doing? Well, y is going down. See how the graph is going down towards negative infinity. And you'll see here this rule that we said above applies here. As one, for a linear function, as one goes to positive, the other one's going to go to negative infinity. The other value of y will go to negative infinity if one side is going to positive. Okay, let's look at b here. So on b, we have a quadratic, and you can see that it's facing up. Okay, so as x goes to the left, as x goes to negative infinity, y is going up to positive infinity. So here they're asking us to put it in terms of like increase versus decrease. So we'll say as x increases, y is increasing or increases. And then since this is a quadratic, we know that this other one over here has to be the same thing. Okay, so you'll see that as x increases, what is y doing? It's also increasing because it is a quadratic, and the arrows are pointing in the same direction. And then lastly, we have an exponential function, and watch what happens as x decreases. So our function decreases until it gets to this horizontal asymptote right here, which is y equals -3. So as x decreases, f of x approaches -3. And then on the other side, as x increases, y, or f of x, approaches positive infinity. And since we're talking about decreasing or increasing, we'll say as x increases, f of x increases. Okay, so you've got one you try that you can try, and then I'll see you in the next video.